Okay, so go into details. Number one, solid foods. All the solid foods contain water and emit some degree of steam. This amount is negligible and has little halachic consequences. Solid foods. Okay. Okay, no problem. Thus, one need not to be concerned about zeach when cooking solid foods unless steam is visibly rising from the food. Okay, no problem. So if that is not visible, okay, no problem. So solid foods, but solid foods, I would say like being cooked without liquid at all. How is it not burning? I'm not sure like what would be example of it. Maybe bacon, I would say, but cooking, I'm not sure. Did you say bacon? All the solid foods contain water and emit some degree of steam. This amount is negligible and has little halachic consequence. Okay, does not say what. Okay, no problem. So solid foods, no water, and no liquid. Okay, next one, number two, kosher steam on non-kosher surface. Kosher steam on non-kosher surface. Some poskim maintain that even kosher steam may pose the problem if it is condenses into non-kosher surface immediately above it while still hot. The condensed water vapor, having absorbed non-kosher taste, may fall back into the kosher food and render it strafe. Okay, which is makes sense, and that's why we said when if you have this what is it like exhaust like hood above your stove, you should cover it for Pesach. Don't use it for Pesach. Why? It's very simple. It's impossible to wash it inside, and all of the like hot vapor is going to go up, and it's going to mix with chametz, whatever the residue of chametz, and going to rub back into your pot, which is would create an issue. That's exactly what they're talking about. So, but here they're talking about not chametz, but non-kosher. So this surface above the stove is not kosher. Use steam, which is kosher, is going to go up, mix with this non-kosher taste, and going to drop in back into your pot, which is a big problem. Let's make it safe. Continue. Number three, cold vapor. Since taste is transmitted only through heat, the problem of zeach applies only when hot steam reaches the surface directly above the cooking lid, the cooking liquid. Hot steam can induce even the cold surface to absorb the taste. However, if the surface is far above the cooking liquid, the steam reaches the surface may no longer be hot enough to affect the transmittal of taste. The surface may become damp and covered with condensed non-kosher vapor, but the vapor is not absorbed. Simply washing the surface thoroughly to remove any non-kosher residue will do. This applies to hot steam reaching an otherwise cold surface. However, if the surface was independently heated, it may heat the condensed vapor and absorb the non-kosher taste. Okay, so let's try to understand this non-kosher vapor again, and we're going to read from the beginning and try to understand. Unfortunately, there is no like practical example. Oh no, practical examples coming on the next page. Okay, no worries. There are practical examples. Okay, but this cold vapor, I'm not sure. Like, I don't have any practical example, but let's see. So one more time. Since taste is transmitted only through the heat, and that's what we said before, through the heat. So we said if it's two cold things were laying on a plate, or like on a dairy plate, you have piece of meat, but it was cold. It was salami or something. So it's not a problem. You just wash it, and there was no transmittable taste, right? Because it's cold. Okay. So one more time, since the taste transmitted only through heat, the problem with there applies only when hot steam reaches the surface directly above the cooking liquid. So if it was liquid and it was evaporation, so this exhausting this hood, that's for sure a problem, because it's usually it's very close to it, right? I mean, otherwise it would be ineffective, right? So, but if it's much higher, something, I'm not sure like how much higher. So, but higher than that. So your hot steam, it's not so hot. I mean, it does not going to reach that place. And even if it's going to reach that place, it's going to be much cooler. That's the thing. Much cooler, meaning it's not going to dissolve this non-kosher taste. That's the issue. That's the situation. The hot steam can induce even the cold surface to absorb the taste. Of course, the hot steam, if it's going to reach there. However, if the surface is far above the cooking liquid, right, the steam reaches the surface may no longer be hot enough to affect the transmittal of the taste. So it cannot. It's not so important to start warming up this non-kosher residue. The surface may become damp and covered with condensed non-kosher vapor. So damp, it does not mean that it was cooked, right? It's it does not mean that it's going to damp, it's going to drop back into soup or something, right? So, but the vapor is not absorbed, right? So, okay, vapor not absorbed. Simply washing the surface thoroughly to remove any non-kosher residue will do. Okay, that's what we usually do, and in many cases when preparing for Pesach, like you use like all of the cleaners and like whatever cleaners you use for like all of the chemicals. So that's already make all of this possible hummus not hummus, because it destroys the taste completely, right? It becomes inedible. Right, or as I say, just use it, just wash it up. This applies to a hot steam reaches the otherwise cool surface. Okay, so meaning it's high enough. So it's like a hot steam, but the surface is high, so it's so it's not going to get cooked. It's not going to get absorbed with this not kosher taste. However, if the surface was independently heated, for somehow there is a heater there, I'm not sure what the situation is. Okay, heated, it may heat the condensed vapor and absorb in a non-kosher taste. I'm not sure how it would get, what would the appliance be or something that this surface would independently be heated. I'm not sure. Okay, but I mean, many things are here theoretical, but we're trying to see how they can be applied to real life. But you see, this rabbi, he gives all of the possible situations. Maybe for us they're theoretical, but if you go to restaurant business, it's very, very practical. Okay. So summary: meat or dairy liquids cooking beneath even a cool surface will transmit their taste to the surface if the steam is hot upon reaching the surface. For sure. I mean, if it's boiling, for sure it's hot. If it's evaporating, the surface is rendered treif, or meat or dairy, right? Treif meaning non-kosher, or meat or dairy. So even meat or dairy is kosher, but we don't want it in our pot. And it must be koshered. Okay. See chapter 14. So there we're going to discuss how to kosher utensils. Next one, if the steam is no longer hot when reaching the surface, so this appliance is much higher, its taste is not absorbed. However, the surface must be washed to remove any residue. But since it reaches there, this surface, in any event, of course there is no transmitter of the taste, but try to wash it. Right? Take a paper towel and wash it. Continue. if the surface is independently hot, for example, both utensils are in an oven, okay, and the upper surface must be koshered, regardless of whether the steam itself was hot upon contact. So one more time, and we're going to explain. If the surface is independently hot, so for example, both utensils in the oven. So here's I apologize. So here's the example. So they're in the oven, and the oven so even though there is a heat from the bottom of the oven, that there is a heat. They call it convection oven, I think. So the heat goes like from the top as well, and from the sides. So like a more modern invention. I mean, maybe it's 20-year-old invention, or maybe more. I don't know, right? So the main top. That's the example he was talking about. The top is for sure is independently heated. So heat goes from the bottom for sure, and that's the source of this liquid is being heated. But it's the top of the stove like of the oven is also heated. That's okay. That's amazing. That's the situation he's talking about, right? The upper surface must be kosher. For sure, I mean, even though like we have to remember all of these things that we say, like at least in our review. So even after the fact, some things are permitted to eat, right? Still, you have to. In many cases, you would have to kosher the whole oven, right? That's the issue. Okay, regardless whether the steam itself hot in a contact. So does not matter because even the steam is not hot, but oven is not so big. Like, all right, so steam is not so hot, but the surface that it's reaching is hot. So that would be an issue.